Hello, everybody. Welcome to our weekly author interview. Today we have the author of Nobel Prize-winning novel Never Let Me Go. Welcome, Kazuo Ishiguro.
That's epic.
Hello,
Hello.
Mr. Ishiguro. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show today.
So today we have some questions for you from esteemed journalists all across the world. First up, we have Matthew Shie with a question about your heritage.
Hi, Mr. Ishiguro. I was wondering how being of Japanese heritage influenced your upbringing.
Well, Matthew, throughout my life, I've encountered and experienced many situations that particularly represent Japanese culture. As I pursued my career in writing, I realized that this was my time and chance to explore cultures that I haven't been exposed to, which is why I decided to base my book, Never Let Me Go, in England, after the Second World War. As well, my mother is very much a Japanese lady from her generation. She has a certain kind of manners, pre-feminist Japanese by today's standards. When I
Mr.
watch old
Ishiguro, is it true that your wife is a 2D
uh,
girl?
can I finish my answer,
Please
please, Mr.
continue.
Okay. When I watch old Japanese movies, I recognize many of the women behaving and speaking exactly like my mother does. Japanese women traditionally used a slightly different formal language from that of men, and these days that's gone much more mixed up. This was one of the prime examples of why I chose to base my stories in other foreign locations and not just in one where Japanese culture is primarily practiced.
Mr.
Um,
Ishiguro, is it true that you watch anime 16 hours a day?
Mr.
Uh,
Gill, can you please refrain from interrupting our guest while he's answering a question?
Sorry, gamer Kevin.
Okay, next we have a question from Jesse Hu.
Hi, Mr. Ishiguro. I was wondering, what inspired you to write Never Let Me Go?
Well, Jesse, there was a time when I started to think about what my career was going to be. I'd failed to make it as a musician. Then, almost by accident, I came across an advertisement for a creative writing MA taught by Malcolm Bradbury at the University of East Anglia. Today, it's a famous course, but back in those days, it was a laughable idea. My primary motivation for applying was so I could go back to university for a year, fully funded by the government, and at the end, I would merely have to submit a 30-page work of fiction. When I was accepted, I began to learn about creative writing, and as a result, began to write Never Let Me Go.
I thought Never Let Me Go was a fiction. Wait, I mean a
Yeah.
non-fiction book.
Okay then.
Okay, thanks.
Up next we have Trevor Whitney.
Hi, Mr. Ishiguro. I was just wondering, how do you feel about winning the Nobel Prize?
Well, obviously, it's a fantastic honor to receive this prize. I think the Nobel Prize is truly amazing and emphasizes what human beings do together to try and push civilization and knowledge onwards. I think it symbolizes, for most people, the idea of people striving together to perform good deeds rather than dividing into factions and bitterly fighting each other while arguing with each other for resources. So, for this reason, the prize means an enormous amount to me, and I can join the group of inspiring people who symbolize peace and connections all across the world.
Wait, you have a Nobel Prize? Why don't I have a Nobel Prize for like gaming and stuff? Your like book was really bad. I hated it.
Mr. Gill, your additional comments are really not necessary after every question.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought this was like I was leading the discussion here.
No, no, you're not. Okay, anyways, now we have a question from myself. So before you became an author, you were a social worker. How does that influence your literary work?
I think that if anyone wants to be a good author and storyteller, they first must have some significant life experiences. For me, it was social work, which was something I enjoyed immensely to the point that I was hesitant to quit and take up writing as a full-time job. In terms
Wait,
of
you were a
influence,
social worker? How were you a social worker? I thought
yeah,
you had to be like smart to be a social worker.
uh,
Mr. Gill.
Anyway, in terms of influence, I think I was definitely given perspective and in a passion as a writer. Early on in my writing career, I definitely drew a lot from my experiences as a social worker. That has changed now as I rely on my wife to give me that perspective as she's still a social worker.
Awesome. Okay, now for our last question, we have Yanni Cunning.
Hi, Mr. Ishiguro. I was just wondering, do you have any advice for aspiring writers?
Well, Yanni, I get asked this question a lot, and what I would suggest is pursuing this as a passion first through a workshop. You'll have to ask yourself what your ambition truly is for why you want to write or be a writer. Using myself as an example, my ambition was to spread knowledge to myself, about the habits of others around the world. In doing so, I knew that I would be able to view the different behaviors of people all around the world. As a result, my story about Kathy and the other characters resided in England. I think that you have to come to terms with the fact that it will be a tough road. But in the end of everything, just always know that you'll be well off if your ambition is sincere. Other than that, I wish all the best of luck.
Wow, that's great advice. I think I can become a bestseller too. Like seeing like that your work's really bad, I think I can become a bestseller.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Ishiguro. Mr. Gill, do you have any final questions?
You know what? This whole interview's dumb. This is a dumb off.
Oh, okay then.
Okay.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Ishiguro, for coming on the show, and thank you to the viewers that joined us today.